Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to see the folder structure in Express.js application. So without any further delay, let's start the video. Yes, so as you can see, I have opened this Express.js application where in the last video we have created a small Express.js app, okay? And here I'm going to explain you the folder structure for Express.js application, okay? So the folder which we are going to have, the first is source, okay, which is src, and inside that the first folder which we are going to have is controller. Okay, so what does controller means? Okay, what exactly the content which we are going to have it inside the controller is, it will going to handle request response logic. Okay, whatever logic we are going to write for handling the request and the response basically. Okay, and the next folder will be the db folder. Okay, so what does the db folder will do? It will have the database connection related code inside it. Okay, and the third we have is models. Okay, so models folder is something which will going to contains the schema or the table data. Okay, table creation data basically. And then we have one more folder called routes. Okay, so what exactly the routes folder will do? It will going to contains the express.js endpoints. Okay, so the endpoint, if I say, if you see here, this slash is an endpoint. Okay, let's say I'm going to create one more endpoint called api slash get users. Okay, so this is something a endpoint. If we say in the reactjs, it's a route. Okay, but in the backend in the nodejs, it's a api and the endpoint. Okay, so these endpoints we are going to have inside the routes folder. Okay, yes, so the next folder will be services. Okay, so what exactly the services folder will have is, it will going to have a core logic such as querying the database and connecting the function to the controller. Okay, that's the logic we're going to have inside the service folder. Okay, and after that we're going to have the middleware. Okay, so middleware also we are going to see what exactly the middlewares are, but you can think of every time an API runs, before that we are going to perform some operation that will going to contain inside the middleware. Okay, and it will be the common function or common logic for all the APIs you can think of. Okay, and then we're going to have the utils folder. Okay, so what exactly the utils folder will have? It will going to have the helper functions. Okay, suppose you want to format something or format date, or you want to get the current date or more things related to that, small operations. Okay, that it will going to contain. Okay, and after that this folder structure we are done. Okay, src source, and outside of the src, what are the things we are going to have is, we're going to have .env. Okay, it's an environment file which we saw in the reactjs as well. It will going to contain the environment specific values. Okay, which will help our application to run basically. And after that we're going to have gitignore. Okay, we know that why we need this, because we don't want to send few things into the git. Okay, suppose node modules we have, so this we don't want to share or send to the github, and also the .env, that's why we are adding over here. Okay, and lastly we're going to have the readme.md. Okay, it's not important but good to have it. Okay, if you have the readme.md, you can define like what exactly your project will do. You can tell inside this readme.md. Okay, so yeah, this is about the folder structure of express.js application.